Alright, so I took this trade this morning together with my mentorship students live on stream. And in this video, I'm going to break down everything from my high time frame analysis to my bias, to my entry, to my take profit, my stop loss, the full thing, so you can learn how I take my trades. So starting off on the daily chart, we can see last week we swept Thursday's low on Friday, and Friday formed a bullish reversal. And yesterday on Monday, we continued the expansion towards the upside, and we were heading up into this gap over here on the daily time frame. So dropping down to the 4-hour, we can see we do have this bullish CRST on the 4-hour chart. We also have this bullish inversion gap. You can see price closed above. We came down, retested the inversion, and continued the expansion towards the upside. We also do have a bullish SMT with ES marked out by my indicator over here. Overall, on the short term at least, we are bullish and expanding towards the upside. I can mark out this buy side liquidity as a high time frame target on the 4-hour chart. So mainly when I'm trading on the 1 minute, 2 minute or 3 minute, I don't really bother about the daily or 4-hour. I just take a look at the daily and 4-hour just to give a rough idea of what's happening on the high time frames. Most importantly, I want to take a look at what's happening on the 1 hour and the 15 minute. So now on the 1 hour chart, we can see this is the 4-hour inversion we marked out. Price came down into it, formed a bullish CRST, a bullish 4-hour CRST, and continued expanding to the upside. Right now, this is the buy side liquidity, which I marked out above. And looking over here on the 1 hour, I can also target previous day high over here. So this is previous day high, which is Monday's high. So this would also be a potential target for me to use. I don't have to draw it out because my indicator will mark it out automatically when I go down to the lower time frames. But that is a level which I'm also looking at. I'm also looking at this 1 hour fair value gap over here. So price could potentially sweep sell side liquidity into this 1 hour gap and then expand towards the upside. I mentioned this scenario live on stream with my mentorship students. I was looking to see if price was going to fill the 1 hour fair value gap and then pump higher, or if we are going to sweep previous day high before dumping down into this. So obviously when you come into the markets, we could be bullish, we could be bearish in this case. We could sweep the high first and then dump lower, or we could also sweep the low first and then pump higher. In both situations, I am prepared, so I'm just waiting to see which level price engages first. Okay, so now on the 1 minute chart, this is right before 9:30 open. So usually I want to wait till after 9:30 before I take a trade. I do not take any trades before 9:30 open. So we wait for 9:30. Here you can see price is manipulating. Right after 9:30 is usually quite volatile, so I let price play out a bit. And like I said, I want to see price engage Asia low or previous day high first. Until price engages either one of these levels, I am not interested in taking a trade. Alright, so after 9:30, you can see price swept the internal high over here and we started dumping lower. We came down, we swept Asia low into this 1 hour fair value gap as I was looking for. And we also have this bullish SMT with ES. So now most of the time, whenever we tap into a high time frame fair value gap and we swept a high time frame point of interest like this, usually I would look for a secondary sweep of this internal low. I would look for price to sweep this low and then head up higher once again. And again, I said this live on stream as well. This is not just hindsight. And as we forward price, we see we're consolidating a bit and then we dump lower. If I forward price a bit, you can see we form the bullish SMT with ES. We form a bullish CRST on the current time frame and also a 3-minute high time frame CRST. So these are populated automatically with my indicator. If I turn on the settings over here, you can see CRST settings. I can show CRST on the current time frame. I disable the label so you don't see M1 CRST because that's the current time frame and it turns that off to keep it clean. And in terms of high time frame, I show high time frame CRSTs and potential high time frame CRST as well. As you can see, potential 2-minute CRST. So this plots all the CRSTs for me so I can enter and place my take profit and my stop loss. Once this candle closes above and confirms the M1 plus M3 CRST, I enter on the retest of the 3-minute CRST right over here. Stop loss below this strong low. As you can see, we swept Asia low, formed bullish SMT. We swept out this internal low as well. So stop loss below that low. And take profit is at previous day high, as I mentioned earlier. So this was my trade. And if you remember, I marked out this buy side liquidity on the high time frame, the 4-hour. So what I did was I decided to take partials at previous day high and leave runners towards buy side liquidity if price action was good. So if we forward price action over here, we can see we confirmed that 2-minute CRST. We continue expanding towards the upside. We had bearish SMTs, but that was not relevant for me because my bias was bullish once we swept Asia low. So bearish SMTs did not bother me at all. As we forward price, you can see we smashed previous day high, my first TP. So I took off 80% at previous day high and I left runners, about 20% runners towards buy side liquidity. And if we forward price, you can see we end up reversing back into the range actually. So once price closed, started displacing below this inversion, you can see we swept previous day high and we inversed this bullish fair value gap over here. So as price started coming down below this, I decided to close the remaining of my position. So I took 80% off at previous day high at about 430 and the remaining right down here around 400. So overall, really good trade. So I took about 120 points on this trade and yeah, really happy with the result. And again, really simple. We swept Asia low into the high time frame fair value gap, bullish SMT, multiple confirmations of CRST, the 1 minute, 2 minute and 3 minute all form bullish CRSTs, and we had a clear target which was previous day high.